All right, so now we're finally getting to doing some of this RF stuff. Okay, so this is the same box of numbers that I wrote on the previous video. I got it from, I take out all the X's and the Y's and the Z's and the equal signs and just put all the numbers in. This is that box. All right, so if I want to work this problem, when I get to the end, I should have some kind of answer, some kind of number, comma, number, comma, number. That's the answer. That's what I'm looking for in doing this problem, is to tell you the name of the point where those three planes meet each other. Okay, and I want the calculator to do this because I don't want to do it. So first I have to go and do rref. Okay, well first I got to get these numbers into the calculator before I can do rref. Okay, so there's the matrix button. Now on my calculator, the matrix button is like it's the second column, third one down, but I notice on some people's calculators there's actually a second function somewhere, so you have to go looking for it, and they misspell matrix because they don't put the I in it. So I go into matrix, and then across the top I got the words names, math, and edit. I want to go into edit because I'm about to edit something and put this box of numbers in there right where that is, okay? And so I go across to edit and you see A, B, C. You could put this in any of A, B, and C. You just got to remember where you put it. Okay, I always just put them in A. So anyway, I'm in A. So I'm going to hit edit. I'm in A now. And the first thing, it'll have some sort of dimensions, 2 by 2, 1 by 5. Or if your calculator's never been used before, it might have those blankets, just something blank space by something, and you got to put those in. It's going to make the right shaped box. If I put 2 by 2 in there, it's just going to make a little box that just take two numbers and two numbers. It's not going to be big enough to get all these numbers in. So this I have to put in a 3 by 4 because that's what this is. This is 3 by 4. And when it makes the box, you'll be able to see that it makes exactly the right size box. Okay, if for some reason you were thinking it was 4 by 3, the box doesn't look right when it makes it. So it's 3 by 4. Okay, so I start putting in the numbers. Once I've done that, I made the right size box. So I'll just start 5, enter, 4, enter. The cursor keeps moving for me, so I don't have to do that part until I've put the entire thing in there. Okay. So you probably pause the video while you get all that in there. Okay, once you get that in there, then I need to do some actual work. Right now all I got is this. And I remembered I've put it in matrix A. That's about everything I've done so far. Okay, now you have to second quit right in here. Because right now I'm just trapped in the middle of a matrix and I can't go anywhere or do anything. So you have to like hit the second button and hit the quit button just to get out back to normal people screen. And then go back into matrix. And this time, instead of going to edit, go to the word math. That's where all the different little functions are. And I'm looking for rref. On my calculator, it's like choice B. It's way on down there. There's regular ref right above it, ref. And it doesn't quite give you the answers. rref is more sophisticated, completely comes right out and gives you the answer. So you want rref. Okay. And then once I hit rref, it takes me back to normal people screen, but now it's got rref with a parenthesis sitting right there, and it has no idea what to do right now, and it doesn't even have a default value where it does something. It just gets upset. Okay, I got to tell it which matrix out of the many matrices in here, which matrix I just want it to do. Now I remember that I put it in A, so I go back in. You don't need to second quit in here. You just need to go back in again, matrix, now under names, and then I'm just going to hit A when it's on A. So now my screen will say that. Okay, you don't even need to close out the parentheses. Now it knows what to rref. So if I hit enter, it gives me an answer. And the answer it gives me is like this. Okay, now remember these are X's. This is where I got this column was the X's. These are the Y's. That was where the letter Y went. And these are the Z's. And there's the equal sign. Okay, well what this says is 1X and 0 Y's and 0 Z's equals 0. That's if I translate it back into letters. 0x's and 1y and 0z's equals 0. So really this is telling me x equals 0, y equals 0, z equals 3. Okay, so in other words, 0, 0, 3 is the answer to that. Whatever is in that last column is the answer. Okay. Now, then I'm ready to move on to the next problem, which I've already translated into a box without all the x's, y's, and z's, but I'm going to put that in. So if I go back into matrix again, and I go over to edit, there's no point. You're now finished with this as problem A. You've already written it out on the test or on the homework or whatever. You don't need to worry about that box ever again. So I might as well write over it. I don't need to start in with a new box. You can if you want, but I'm just going to write right over box A what I used to have. All right, so I go in, and it's still a 3 by 4. You can either arrow your way past that, or you can just put them in. It'll overwrite. Now I've got a 3 by 4 box. 1, enter. Now something I didn't say on the first one, but is just true, is this is supposed to be a negative 1. It's not supposed to be -1. Well, I said this earlier in the semester, but you've got to use the negative button, the one with the little parentheses on it. Okay, if you try and use the minus button instead without the parentheses on it, just the regular minus over here, it does not like that. It wants you to use the parentheses one down there. So I 1, -1, and so on. And then I put the answers on the notes page so you would know what you get. But and it comes out with 1, 3, and -2. That last column is the one that counts. So on my paper now I know the answer. It's 1, 3, -2. Now these answers could come out as anything weird. It could come out as weird decimals. I tried to make ones that would come out with nice little numbers so that you wouldn't have to worry about that. If you start getting into this, it's like all these decimals all over the place, and now what am I supposed to do? Go back over this carefully. Usually what happens is you like missed a negative sign somewhere or something, and it comes out totally wrong. And that's always because you just one tiny little transcription error and you got no idea what the answer is supposed to be. And then you do the last one. And 2, 4, and 1. The answer. Okay, so that's how those are supposed to be done. All right, and so anyway, I only did 3, and there's 5 on there, and the others have weird, no solution, infinitely many solutions. So I'm like saving that for the next video.